Yes, I got the host access. Let me share my screen. Fine. Hope all of you able to see my screen, I believe. And this is what the course uh, discussion we have done. Duration is 4 months, fee is 12K INR, and the access provided for you is the recorded videos with the 8 months validity, live recorded with 8 months validity, soft copy of the material, Google Classroom access for accessing the material, source code of the source code repository will be shared to you, where it contains the 6 projects. These 6 projects we will do the automation using this DevOps. And to automate these 6 projects, we will use the AWS infrastructure. I mean, to automate, we'll use DevOps tools only, but the infrastructure we will use is the infrastructure we will use is the AWS. However, slowly I'll explain all the things. So who can learn the DevOps, and what are the DevOps tools that we should have to learn, and we will discuss by doing some market analysis. Who can learn the DevOps? Anyone can take the DevOps with AWS course, and who are already in IT career now, like Java developers, Python developers, or maybe testers, whatever it is, who are in already in IT career but would like to get more career growth. The best option is for to go this DevOps. And who are now doing non-IT jobs and wants to start your IT career, also you can start. And who don't have programming technology or language knowledge or experience, those also can look at this DevOps course. DevOps with cloud, one cloud, any of the cloud. DevOps with any of the cloud.
Yes, sir. I want to contact, but how many courses, how many class courses will be covering from this series?
How many tools?
How many tools you will cover? How many tools you covering from this in this course?
That is what we will discuss. Today's topic is that only. I'll explain what we'll cover. Yeah. Okay. So prerequisite for this is no prerequisite is required. That is really false. Linux is required. But why still I have written no prerequisite is required? Whatever the Linux is required also will teach here. I'll teach this Linux to the moderate level, whatever required for a DevOps engineer. Till completion of your course, you will be become to a moderate level expert on the Linux platform usage. However, so what are the DevOps tools that we have to learn? Okay, who can learn the DevOps is done, right? And basically, why we have to learn the DevOps? Why we have to learn the DevOps? This also, if you can understand, then let us go to the tools part. Why we have to learn DevOps? DevOps is automating. DevOps is automating the process of application build. Maybe you might not get what is application, what is, assume application meaning your Facebook, application meaning your Gmail. So that application build meaning what, for example, did you observe your mobile applications are asking you to update sometimes, correct? When you're trying to open your mobile application, it will ask you to update the application. That means what? A new build came, a new version of it came to your Play Store. So similarly, releasing such new versions to the users usage, customers usage is what, deployment. So that release is what now, that is called a build. For example, few features are updated. Phone pay you can take. Maybe 2 to 3 features are they will introduce, and then they will ask us to update our application. If we update, we'll get those new features. The 2 to 3 features implementation is called what? The build. Okay. So DevOps is automating the process of application, automating the process process from application build to application deployment. Here deployment meaning just making the application available in your Play Store. That's it. Kind of same scenario here. Just understand, making an application available in the Play Store is called what? Deployment. Just consider. So DevOps is automating the process from application build to application deployment with the quality assessment. The quality assessment with the quality assessment with the quality assessment. So due to this automation, one day work is completing in just 1 hour. In just 1 hour. 1 week work is completing in just 1 day. 1 month work is completing in just 1 week. In just 1 week. So as we will get the more productivity in the sense completing very quick, very fast, right? So due to this faster delivery of the applications to the customers, the companies are getting more benefited by taking more work, and by making company more revenue, and thus making company more revenue. You got it, na? Because 1 day work, 1 day meaning 8 hours. 8 hours work we are completing in 1 day, just 1 hour. 8 hours work we are completing in just 1 hour. What about the remaining 7 hours? We'll get a new work for that 7 hours. For that new work, we'll get more money, isn't it? We'll get more money. So that is the reason the billing of a DevOps resource is highly, billing of a DevOps resource is high, very high. What is this meaning? Is the clients who want us to work on this DevOps projects automation, who wants us to automate the applications, right? So they will give the more and more money, more salaries, more per hourly basis. They will pay more actually, right? So as the pay is more, why pay is more? Because client is getting the application. For example, I am a person. I have a assume flower shop. So usually what I did actually, I have my flower shop where all the people will come to my flower shop in the morning, and then they will purchase the flowers, and then they'll take it to their home. Now I got a very good feedback from the customers. Now I want to build a mobile application where they can book the whatever the flowers they want, so that the delivery boys will go and then deliver those flowers to them. Assume I want such a mobile application. That mobile application will be delivered for me within the 1 week by taking more money. I'm so happy, right? I don't bother about the money. I will bother about my business, right? So rather taking 1 month and then giving the application, rather giving the application for 5 rupees in 1 month, you take 10 rupees and then give me the application in 1 week, right? Because our business will be definitely, we'll get more business if the application is ready. That is what the fund other companies are following now. The clients are following now, right? So application automation is happening very application releases is happening very quick. So that is the reason the companies are looking to use these DevOps for all the projects. So when the DevOps is looking, when the DevOps is there for every project, DevOps resources are also required. DevOps resources are also required. DevOps in the sense, DevOps with cloud, one cloud I mean to say. Compulsory, DevOps meaning without cloud, there is no meaning for the DevOps. DevOps meaning including cloud only, one cloud mandatory. Okay, so when the DevOps, when the applications are automating using the DevOps, then the DevOps resources need also like that. That is the reason there are more opportunities there were on the DevOps tools or the DevOps career. Meaning DevOps job role have a more opportunities nowadays. Okay, billing of DevOps resources is very high, and billing of the DevOps resources is very high, but in market there were a shortage of the DevOps complete DevOps engineer with the complete skill set. So what is this complete skill set the companies are looking for? Let us understand. So companies are looking for the DevOps engineer with complete skill set. What is this complete skill set mean? Though the complete skill set is not available in the market yet, still they are taking the resources. What is the complete skill set meaning is, for example, if you can see this pipeline, so this is what a pipeline that we need to build. Now what is happening, few members are with the skill set of Jenkins only, few members are with the skill set of Ansible only, few members are skill set of the Docker and Kubernetes only, and few members are with the Jenkins, SonarQube, Artifactories only. Like that, there were shortage of the resources who know all these things from end to end. There were a shortage of resources who know all these things from end to end. That is called a complete skill set. So here complete skill set meaning, right? Complete skill set. So complete skill set meaning, complete skill set meaning the resource who can handle the CI/CD. What is CI/CD? I'll explain. Going forward, we'll see. CI/CD pipeline. Complete skill set meaning the resource who can handle the CI/CD pipeline on their own, from end to end, or their own end to end, on their own end to end. So that is the reason. Still the opportunities are more
You're not able to hear.
నేను తీసుకోలేదు నాన్న వద్దా సరే ఇదిగో పొద్దున పిల్ల బాత్రూమ్ వచ్చి చెప్పింది నేను బాత్రూమ్ లో ఉన్నా అప్పుడు బాత్రూమ్ కడితే వచ్చింది బాత్ వచ్చింది నేను లోపల ఉన్నా పిలుస్తుంది అమ్మాయి 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 అని
Hey, Kannada, can you put yourself in mute?
సరే
హలో హలో సార్ మీ వాయిస్ రాలేదు స్క్రీన్ షేర్ కాలేదు సార్ హలో హలో సార్ హలో
SAR is not available actually. I think network issue or something. Anyone is there in management side? DURGASOFT. Hello.
హలో
Sir, Narsi sir is not joined actually. He's yeah.
క్లోజ్ చేశారా
Yeah, sorry guys, my mission got stuck and hence I just rejoined back. So sorry. Thanks
No,
for
no
joining.
problem. No problem, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So let me get the host access one more time and then continue. I'll request for the host access one more time. Just give me a moment. I'll request for the host access. Yeah, I got the host access. I'm sharing my screen now. Yes. Yes, so we are now discussing about the why we should have to learn the DevOps. So complete skill set resources are still lack in the market, and hence, if we grab that opportunity of learning and then doing end-to-end pipeline setup and then maintenance, 100% we will get a good opportunities. Now, in DevOps, market is looking for exactly what kind of skill set resources. So for that, let us do some market analysis. Let me open DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer salary in India. And there is a site called Ambition Box. Let me open that Ambition Box site. Even Glassdoor, Upgrade also you can open. And there were a lot of sites, JobTed, all those things. But out of all these things, I strongly believe this Ambition Box, because these guys are accurate information will be provided by these guys. And also in this site, they are giving the tools what are commonly expecting by the companies. This is kind of AI based, not AI, but they are aggregating all the metrics and then showing us in a simple way. However, if you can see the DevOps engineer salary for a fresher is now 6 lakhs per annum with very good high confidence. High confidence in the sense, very high confidence means that data is based on a large number of responses. So based on 39.3K salaries, around 40,000 members' salaries, they were aggregated, I mean, they analyzed and then come to this graph that, minimum CTC for a fresher is starting now at 6 lakhs per annum. That's a minimum. Any company, if I start the company, I have to give this money. I mean, usually this is what the market standard now. I will come to this salaries section later in time. First, let us go and then see the DevOps jobs. DevOps jobs. Let me just type DevOps. Right. So there were a lot of jobs published here. It's like Naukri portal as well. So DevOps lead salary in India or on. So they are also providing the job details as well. Here, let me write DevOps. Just let me search for it. Perfect. DevOps engineer. 15 hours ago, DevOps engineer, Sony India Software Center Private Limited, Bangalore location. They published the job for 4 to 9 years of experienced candidate. The skill set they are asking for what? What I will do is, let me open, okay, we'll do one thing. Let me copy all this skill set, what they are now expecting. Okay, and let us look at more job roles, more jobs, and let us filter out what exactly they are meaning, which they are more or most frequently they are expecting. What is the most common tools they are expecting in the market? Let us see them. Okay, this is for the company called DevOps Engineer, Sony India Services Private Limited. Sony India Company Private Limited for the DevOps Engineer role. If we can see, hope you are able to see my screen, right? If we can see, Java knowledge, they are asking some GET or GET. We don't know what are is, even I don't know. But commonly they are asking for Bash, Jenkins, DevOps, CI and CD, Docker, Cloud, Ansible, Database, Agile, AWS, Linux, and Python programming language experience, or maybe the knowledge, we don't know. Java experience or the knowledge. So basically, this is the skill set they published. In this skill set, if you can see, Jenkins, DevOps, CI/CD, Docker, Cloud, Ansible, Agile, AWS, Linux. Let me copy it and then take it in a separate text pad. Okay, now let us go and then look at the other job opportunity. What is that? Senior software principal engineer, 5G layer 2 architecture. This is also required the DevOps CI/CD, and they are asking for the Kubernetes. So DevOps CI/CD cloud, they didn't mention what cloud they want, but they mentioned DevOps CI/CD cloud and then Kubernetes. Okay, let us scroll down. Software engineer. So here in the software engineer also, they are asking Docker, Kubernetes, Python, Kafka, DevOps, performance tuning, and all. So Docker, Kubernetes. If you can see, the two job roles, the two jobs are asked, Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, then next. In fact, we have to look for the DevOps jobs. Okay, I think this is the common DevOps keyword they have taken, and then they published these things. Now, if you can see, 13 hours ago, Dell published what they are looking for. They are looking for Docker, Kubernetes, Linux, Jenkins, CI/CD, GitHub, and of course other things also there. And what is this company? Dell. So Dell is the company looking for what? These tools: Jenkins, DevOps, Linux, Docker, GitHub, debugging, CI/CD, Groovy, Python, and Kubernetes. One programming language they might expecting as the knowledge, but that is not even mandatory to have. So if you have the complete DevOps tools experience or knowledge, the programming languages knowledge or experience is not matter. It is not a matter. And if you can see this software principal engineer, they are expecting DevOps, Kubernetes, and Docker. DevOps, Docker, Kubernetes, and of course microservices knowledge. And the principal software engineer. These are not our DevOps roles for sure, but if we can understand what they are expecting: DevOps, Docker, CI/CD, Kubernetes, right? And let us scroll down. Here, if you can see, DevOps, DevOps they expected, they are expecting DevOps, and then this they are expecting related to some other technology. Of course, DevOps, Kubernetes is there, and then DevOps at JP Morgan, what they're expecting? They're expecting the DevOps, AWS, Putty, of course, Jenkins, Bitbucket. So this is what they are expecting. If you can see, DevOps, Jenkins, AWS is there. Now, DevOps architect. So for this role, what they're expecting role is DevOps architect, but they have not clearly mentioned what they are looking for, this one. Okay, so this is one thing, and if you can see, this DevOps lead is the guy, and the common tools what they are expecting for this job role. Let us see. Yes, these are all the common tools that are expecting in the market: DevOps, AWS, Docker, Kubernetes, Python, Linux, Terraform, Jenkins, Ansible, automation, Git, configuration management, Azure, Agile, GCP. So this is what for all the DevOps leads, not even DevOps engineers. So DevOps engineers are no need to be with all this skill set, in fact, isn't it? So let me copy this and then go to here. Now let me go little top, and here this is what they are expecting. DevOps, AWS, Docker, Kubernetes, Python, Linux, and Terraform, Jenkins, Ansible, automation, Git, configuration management, Azure, Agile, GCP. This is what the skill set they are expecting. Now, coming to our course content. Okay, before going to our course content, don't worry. Python or the Groovy or the Java they are asking, right? That is just a knowledge. No need to be have an experience on it. If we don't have also, that is fine. Now, can you guys observe or can you help me writing the common skill set what they're expecting now? By looking into this, can you help me? What is a common skill set they are looking for? Common skill set. Common skill set they are looking for. Docker. Okay. Jenkins. Yeah, Jenkins. If you can see the Jenkins, it is in all. Then DevOps concepts. Linux, yes. DevOps concepts. Jenkins. Kubernetes. Docker. Right? So Docker, Kubernetes, CI/CD. They're
Ansible.
commonly expecting Ansible, right? So Ansible here and then Ansible here. Right?
Any cloud provider.
Python expecting, the knowledge is expecting. If we don't have also, that is okay.
Cloud provider.
Cloud provider, one of the cloud it is expecting, either AWS or whatever it is, one cloud it is expecting, right? So let us write down those tools now. Git and then Jenkins.
Marvin.
Just look at these tools and then let us finalize what are they expecting. So Git, Jenkins, then Docker, then Kubernetes, then Terraform, then Linux, then AWS. These are the tools.
Ansible.
Ansible. And these are all concepts wise they are expecting CI/CD. Concepts wise they are expecting CI/CD and then the DevOps. Okay, let us do more analysis. This is for the lead role. So CNT is also expecting the DevOps engineers. So who is giving 5,56,000, around 6 lakhs it is given. And what they're commonly expecting from the DevOps. See this. DevOps concepts, AWS, Python, Git, Linux, coding, GitHub, monitoring, scripting, Agile, Ansible, analytics. Right? So any DevOps job role you will take nowadays. Any DevOps job role you will take nowadays. Git and GitHub may be similar source code management repository tool. Jenkins, Docker and Kubernetes. Linux. Docker, Kubernetes, Linux, Ansible, AWS. These are all common tools. Any job role you will take. You'll go to Naukri, Monster, anywhere you will go. These are the common tools that we can see. Why they are expecting such a, why they are giving, huge importance to this Docker and Kubernetes. You can see Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, right? And Linux, AWS. This is the most they are expecting. So what is our course is covering? What are the
What about
tools?
CI/CD pipeline, sir?
Here it is. CI/CD pipeline is the concepts. They're expecting the CI/CD experience and then the DevOps concepts experience. Concepts, how we will implement it. Okay. However, now let us see what are all the tools that we are using. So Git and GitHub. Let us go to our architecture diagram. Hope you will be able to see this architecture diagram. What we are using, Git and then the GitHub. Then we are using the Jenkins with the master slave architecture. Jenkins with master slave architecture, very helpful. Then Maven, right? If you can see this, Maven. Then Sonar Cube, Maven. Then Sonar Cube. Then JFrog or Nexus Artifactory. JFrog or Nexus Artifactory. Then Ansible. Then Docker. Then Kubernetes. Then Kubernetes. Then Grafana and Prometheus. Grafana and Prometheus. Then CI/CD of microservices, right? And then DevOps concepts. DevOps concepts like waterfall model, and then the agile model, right? Waterfall model, agile model, continuous integration, continuous delivery, or continuous deployment, and then dark deployment. In this CD, we'll discuss these things like dark deployment, blue, green deployment. Dark deployment is the concept following nowadays, even now, by the Facebook since 2011. However, so these are all the concepts that we will use in our CI/CD pipeline in our DevOps course. So Git and then GitHub, Jenkins with master slave architecture, Docker, Kubernetes with the HA architecture, high available architecture, Grafana and Prometheus, CI/CD microservices, DevOps concepts. So this is what we're gonna see. And before starting, okay, and also what we are covering, AWS 20 plus services. We are covering AWS 20 plus services. So this is what the tools that we are using in our course.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir, you are saying AWS only, but Google Cloud is there, IBM Cloud is there. But you are same only, otherwise you can different commands you can use this.
Cloud to cloud, underlying platform is cloud architecture platform only.
But,
Architecture.
Google Cloud also we can use it now, sir.
Correct. But you know why we are using AWS is most commonly AWS is already occupied 58% of the global market share. That means AWS is using by the most of the companies on the globe, and hence the requirement for the AWS resources will be more compared to others. That is the reason we have chosen the AWS as the cloud provider with these DevOps concepts. Okay. And next cloud, if you are really interested, would like to parallelly learn one more cloud, then go for the GCP. go for the
It's okay, sir. But for no AWS, you can work it on Google Cloud also.
correct. Yes. What if we know the experience of the cloud, if you know the concepts of the cloud are same everywhere. How they are implementing is different, but concepts might be same. Same. For example, AWS having a code commit repository, Azure having the Azure repository, AWS is having the S3 bucket, Azure having the Azure blob storage. Concept is same, but their implementation is different. Got it? Huh?
Are we covering ELK, Splunk?
Not a Splunk, but covering EFK. Thank you. Actually, I missed it. EFK. Elasticsearch, FluentD, and Kibana. This is what we are covering. Grapher and Prometheus, EFK.
No Logstash.
No Logstash. In the place of Logstash, we are taking what this FluentD because of we are using the Kubernetes.
Okay.
So Kubernetes containers are easily Kubernetes parts are easily integratable with this FluentD database. That is the reason. Fine. So this is what the AWS tools DevOps tools that we will use throughout our course content. And each and every tool.
See, like what about EC2 and ELB?
Those are AWS concepts. We will discuss 20 plus services are there. Na? In 20 plus services, again, the AWS services, EC2 will come, IAM will come, EBS will come, EFS will come, all these things. AWS, that is separate, AWS 20 plus services. We'll discuss AWS services tomorrow.
Yeah, Narsi, I have one more doubt because when you check the apart from the Indian market, outside of the Indian market, okay, we have the expectation on the DevOps with the background of knowledge on the development with the DevOps engineer. What exactly? Because what they expect if they want the development background with the DevOps means how their expectations would be.
Okay, so basically, development background is not required. Development background is not required, but if a developer also can learn and then do all these things, that is really awesome. But you know, what is the real expectation of a DevOps engineer is? What is the real expectation of for a DevOps engineer is, you know, DevOps is a culture, first of all. So a DevOps engineer may work on different technologies, meaning DevOps engineer may work on configuring the CI/CD pipeline for different technologies. Maybe Java, maybe .NET, maybe Python, maybe Node.js, maybe Groovy, whatever it is. So all these programming technologies, programming languages, knowledge, having all these programming languages knowledge is really difficult. It is highly impossible even. That is the reason DevOps engineers need to be always in sync or always in communication with the development team. So at least DevOps engineer should have an idea, not an experience, but an idea like how the Java applications we can deploy, how the React.js applications we can deploy, how the Python application we can deploy. At least an idea, not the programming level, but an idea. For example, Java applications, again, two types, Maven build, Gradle build. So how to set up this Maven build, how to set up the Gradle build. At least these concepts we should have to know. For example, .NET applications are there. We don't need to have the .NET, but we have to know how the .NET application will be built and deployed. For that, we have to talk to developers. We have to get the knowledge on how it built and then deployed. Then only we can start our automation process. That is the expectation. Got it? Huh?
Yeah, got it. And I have one more question. Like, see, uh, previously, because the DevOps came into the picture is from the infra, like they want to make the shared services as one group, because we should previously we have the middleware engineers who can do this all the scripting and all the deployments things. Okay, how would be the like if you pick like middleware plus with DevOps, how would be the view of the market, or how would be the challenging when once you want to mix two different technologies into one resume?
The first thing is what middleware technologies, uh, making them as pipeline is really a challenging one. For example, mm, JBoss server is there. Just I'm telling an example, and
Mhm.
then some product is there. Let's say
Yeah,
uh, WebSphere is the server,
data
or
power MQ.
RabbitMQ. These are all nothing. These are all having the Docker images. We can easily automate them. But
No,
coming to
IBM Explorer MQ and the data power, because
uh,
whatever the microservices we are using,
mm,
that would residing on the data power, right? Web services calls
correct,
we used to have on the data power.
correct.
Like now, if you mix the two different culture into one resume, how would it would be the weightage, and how we can fetch the market?
Definitely, weightage will be there, but the thing is what we have to correlate these two. Resume we can apply, but the more
Okay.
interesting point, we have to justify how these two got into the same platform. For example, WebSphere is there and all. So how we were automated it. WebSphere is the server, or the JBoss is the server. How we were automated it. So basically, automation concept we will use for the continuous build and then the deployments. That means if the source code is there and
Mm-hmm.
source code we are writing to
Mm-hmm.
deliver something very quickly, we will use this automation process. For example, JBoss, if we take JBoss source code, we won't write, right? JBoss is not our thing. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever the source code we will write, or our company is writing for them to deliver that source code as an application very fast, quickly, we will go for this CI/CD concept.
Okay,
But
CI/CD concept would be only mostly for the develop like application deployments. The
application, correct, continuous integration, continuous delivery or deployment. It is
Mhm.
related to applications. But these applications require the infrastructure. So
Yeah,
application require the infrastructure to deploy. That
yeah.
infrastructure setup we will automate using the Terraform and all. So how we can mix these two? The middlewares we can automate using the Terraform,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
those middlewares will those middlewares will be used by the CI/CD pipeline to deploy the applications continuously into that infra. So how we can merge these two? The middleware we can automate, the infra we can automate, but not the
mm-hmm.
deployments, not integrations. Infra we can automate. For example, JBoss, I want one more instance. We can spin
Mm-hmm.
it up and put behind one LB so that it can be auto scalable, isn't it? So that infra level we can automate.
Mm-hmm. See, this would be a challenging the guy who is from the middleware coming and taking up the challenging of the DevOps. That would be a challenging to the middleware guys.
Uh, Definitely, because the middleware guys, most of the cases, the middleware tools we are using are the proprietary tools, and we will use the tools but not the source code. Tool
That's right. That's
for
right.
some
Yeah.
purpose we will use.
Yeah.
So the tool will come into the infrastructure. Tool will come into the infrastructure automation, but not into this CI/CD.
Yeah, because we use the Python or the Jackal or Jython we will be using for the automation of those infrastructures. Okay,
Mm,
and
mm,
we will be using the Jenkins, as you said that we will be using the Jenkins for the
mm,
deployment or urban code or UC code,
mm.
GitHub for the infrastructure automation parts. or Rundeck. Those are all the tools, because I seen the same tools we are using on the DevOps as well. That is what, because I'm trying to understand what exactly there is a lot of difference, or there won't be any difference, or there would be a challenging thing. That is what I'm trying to understand.
Challenging will be there. Lot of difference, um, two things here actually. So the code deployment, that is what I'm telling actually. Code deployment, whatever our microservices or whatever it is, the code deployment will be handled using the pipeline. But where it need to deploy is altogether is the infra, where it need to go as a target. So that is the infra. That infra is how we can automate. We have to see that is not coming to the DevOps one. Infra automation will come into what actually the Terraform concepts. Terraform is a separate framework, so which we will use for the infra automation. Now, when the infra will be automated, accordingly, the CI/CD pipelines will also get adjusted. What I mean to say is, for example, one code is there. That code need to be deployed in the the WebSphere server. So the build artifact, whatever we got, that build artifact we are deploying into our WebSphere server. So that WebSphere server, maybe 2 instances we have. Then how the 2 instances can be able to deployable with this artifact that we're going to deploy using the Jenkins is what the matter now. Meaning, the connectivity of the infra to this pipeline is the complex thing. In the case of the middlewares, there we into little struggle. Is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you want, because see, if I say that infra is an already existing vast environment would be there, and if you want to migrate that into the DevOps or the Kubernetes, we will be using some plugins, or like there we have to build the things from the scratch.
Not required actually. For example, as you said, IBM is there. So IBM might already providing some kind of containerization technique. So maybe Docker images kind like that. He might have the images or containerization technique.
IAB, yeah, that's IAB.
Exactly. That
the containers what we will be using the IAB, and that IAB will be using the Kubernetes.
Exactly. So Kubernetes is required what the container technology, containerization platform, where it
Got
takes
it.
the images. So it will be get deployed.
Okay. Basically, the Kubernetes architecture would be our infra. That's right.
Kubernetes architecture will be our infra. Correct.
Okay. Got it. Now, if you want to migrate, or if you want to give a pipelines, everything we would be implementing or giving a connection. Whatever the old existing environment, we will be giving those pipelines to the our Kubernetes architecture.
Exactly correct.
Yeah,
exactly correct. So that is what we'll do. Ansible will do. Ansible is called as a configuration management tool. Parallel processing technique it will use, and then it will connect to the infra servers and then make the deployment happen.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, folks. Is it mandatory for a DevOps engineer to have knowledge about service connections? Service, no, not required. What is service connections? Not required. Service to service communication, that is all the developer's headache. Being a DevOps engineer, we are very, very, liberative. What I mean to say, you have to think in your pipeline way only. For example, developer need to give us a Docker image. One moment, guys. I'm just pinging the message to the next batch. We have a session tomorrow. Yeah, sorry. Yes. So developer might be write the code, and we have to expect the code behavior from the developer, like how it will be work. So that is the reason DevOps is a culture. For example, if you can see this production architecture, if we can take this production architecture, so personals, let me give you the production architecture overview, because this is what we have to achieve nowadays. If you attend the interview, interviewers are asking, what are microservices? Did you deploy the microservices? If deployed, then what is the challenges that you have faced? So in microservices, the biggest barrier that we have is the microservices communication. What I mean to say is, I believe you all able to see my screen, isn't it? So here are the microservices. Everywhere you can see VPC, isn't it? So I'll explain it later in time, but if you can see, these are all the microservices now. So category service, product service, order service, payment service, each and every microservice will get automated using the CI/CD pipeline. Now, when this microservice is communicating with this microservice, it is a pod to pod communication for us in Kubernetes terminology. Container to container communication in Docker terminology. So DevOps engineers no need to worry about what is the inbuilt mechanism of their communication. Nothing, we don't require. Altogether, what we need to think about, this is one Docker container. This is one Docker container. How do I make these two Docker containers communicatable? That's it. That is what our job. But what they have written, how they have written, we don't require. So how these are communicating? So we have some techniques, some Docker Compose orchestrations, concept called orchestration we will use. And if the communication is not achievable, we should have to tell to the development team, like, hey guys, you have to expose your configuration in a environmental way. What I mean to say is, just let me showcase. These are all why I am discussing now is just to give you the confidence. Let me showcase you one thing. Deployment repo, dev applications. If you can see here, this is one simple application. One simple application deployment, not simple application, of course, but one application deployment having these are 7 files here, Kubernetes files, and then here 5 files, total of 12 files, 12 to 13 files we have to write. So why I'm showing this is, we have to guide the developers to accept their code should have to be accept the values from the environment variables. I repeat one more time. We have to ask them to write the code in such a way, accept or expect something from the environment variables, so that such environment configurations we can pass from this Kubernetes or Docker, whatever the files we can pass from there. Now, service to service communication, if that is the case, if you can see in Kubernetes, I'm talking about, we have here one service, we have here another service. So what we will do, service discovery, networking concepts we will discuss, Kubernetes networking, Docker networking. There is a concept called service discovery. How that service discovery? See this, the config map, if I just open, see this is the service discovery. The name of the service that we would like to talk to and in which namespace it is. I'll explain all these things. Probably I answered your question, right? This question is asked by whom? This question is asked by someone, but yeah. Will you cover Terraform also? Yes, Terraform also I will cover, but not complete Terraform. Terraform, whichever is required for automating the EC2 instances, VPC, meaning our production architecture. I think I have not showcased the production architecture, isn't it? So our final production architecture, I think I already have shown, but our final production architecture automation is what we will I will cover. The Terraform I will cover till automation of our production architecture. Our production architecture, if you automate it using the Terraform, then the same concepts you can apply and then automate any complex applications as well. So go here, but Terraform is a separate concept. which will take around 45 days to complete. I'm not going into that deeper. I'm going into the Terraform concepts, which will help us to automate this infrastructure, isn't it? Like EC2s, VPCs, and all. Yeah. Any more questions for me?
What is
sir.
shell scripting, sir? Shell scripting.
Shell
What is-
scripting will be there. Shell scripting in the sense, let me showcase shell scripting in the sense. Let me showcase that. One example I will tell you of the shell scripting. It is just like, very easy, like writing, WhatsApp chat messages, Facebook chat messages. That's it, really. I'll showcase that how it will be. Shell scripting in the sense, we are going to use the Linux platform, isn't it? That Linux platform will be on that Linux platform, we will be give the commands to talk to that. Now Windows, I'm talking to the Windows platform, isn't it? To talk to Windows platform, I'm pressing on this one and then giving D or giving A, whatever it is, or I'm going here and then opening the document, because I have a graphical user interface, right? I'm using the Windows operating system, which is having a nice GUI. In the case of Linux, we don't have this GUI. That is the reason we have to work with in order to work with the Linux, we have to work with the shells, bash shell. We have to work with the bash shell. Got it, right?
Yes.
Narsi,
Yes.
like, could you help us with the terraforms to develop an infrastructure so that it would be fetching a lot to us, to me especially.
Ah.
That adds to me a lot.
Yeah, what I'm saying is actually Terraform contains a lot of concepts. All those concepts I don't cover. What I will cover is understanding the Terraform, writing the Terraform scripts for automating our infrastructure. Like we have to automate the Kubernetes worker nodes, automate this virtual private cloud.
Parts, yeah.
So this level I will explain, because there are a
To
lot.
create the cluster as well, right? The pod clusters.
Exactly.
Worker nodes,
Correct.
and the slaves. Those
Correct.
parts would be covering in this terraforms, right?
Correct. Yes. So till automation, this deployment of this Kubernetes cluster, and then increase, adding the worker nodes to the cluster, and then the adding the replications. All these things we will automate using the Terraform. But what I'm saying is Terraform, rather than this, it having a lot of concepts, certification level concepts are there, which are I'm not
Yeah,
covering.
that's why my next question you answered me. Okay.
Yeah, because wallets are there. Terraform, if we use Terraform, we have to use the wallets.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's we are using in real time, but if you give us some idea on that, that would be a lot.
yeah, sure. That definitely will be there as per our course content. Okay. Yeah.
How
Any
do
more?
we set up this in our local system, or should we
Okay.
just directly use the AWS or something?
Okay. Usually we will set up this on the AWS cloud platform only. AWS cloud platform. Nothing, I don't encourage to have it in our local. Nothing will be in our local. Everything let us take on the AWS platform only. That is the reason. First, I will start AWS. Then I will start the DevOps. First, I will start the AWS. Let me showcase how we will take it just in a overview, just to take showing how many machines we will take. And that is the reason I'm asking you guys, you also have to sometimes pay for them, because it is not a hello world, or maybe welcome to Java, welcome to DevOps. No, it is not such kind of applications we're gonna deploy. We're gonna deploy a real time similar applications we're gonna deploy, which is around 1 GB or minimum 600 MB of its size. What I'm explaining is now, what I'm trying to explaining is now, if we can see this entire pipeline, we will set up with the AWS infrastructure. In that AWS infrastructure, we will use the concepts of VPCs and also these are all will be in the private zone, and only Jenkins will be in the public zone. So likewise, there is a load balancers and all will come. So everything we will set up in the AWS platform. See this? These are all the machines that we need to set up. These are all the machines. Around 12 to 13 machines will come. Right? So if you can see Kubernetes, Docker, Kubernetes 3 machines, and NFS server 4 machine, Kubernetes 4 machines, then Docker 1 machine, Jenkins 2 machines, Ansible 1 machine, SonarQube is 1 machine, and then the JFrog is another machine, ELK server 1 machine, Grafana is another machine. Likewise, we will take around 12 to 13 machines in our CI/CD pipeline. And these 12 to 13 machines we have to automate using the Terraform. See how beauty it is, right? If we really achieve this, we will achieve it actually. It's not a big deal. It's a matter of time. Okay. Got it? Huh? I'm answering.
Got it. Yes. Okay. So because I think most of the people are using the office's laptop, so we have certain limitations to install some sort of things too. That's why I asked.
So let us go with the cloud platform. To that cloud platform, let us connect through the tools like Putty, WinSCP, Mobile Extern. I'll explain once we started. I'll explain. Fine.
Okay.
So that's all, folks. If you don't have anything for me, tomorrow let us see a detailed course content on AWS.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so actually you are saying that you will be after some time you start the class at 7 o'clock.
Correct.
Can you make it 7:30, sir?
That's okay. Most of the people, if the most of the people is okay for 7:30, that is okay for me. Half an hour doesn't matter. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, folks. Thank you so much for your presence, for joining this session demo 2. Let us join tomorrow as well, and then in-depth the course content understanding in the DevOps and in AWS. Let us start with the AWS. Maybe after tomorrow, let us start AWS concepts. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.